Recording.
You tried to scarf down a hot dog.
Yeah, it was the quickest food I could think of, and I'm like, oh, I'll just wash it down quickly with some water, and Kobayashi I am not.
Yeah, I was going to say, you should have Joey Chestnutted it and dunked it in the water first, and then just like inhaled it.
No, there is no pleasure that I find in this. This is a business transaction I'm committing right now, eating this hot dog.
I feel like...
Just soak it in water so I can swallow it. This is my version of, like, getting on the treadmill and training.
I feel like this could be a low-budget movie where the biggest hot dog eating contest in the world is a month away, and then you have a bunch of hot dog manufacturers fighting and conniving to be the supplier for that event.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
And you have to pay for your own hot dogs that you eat. It's like, I ate 72 hot dogs. They're like, cool. That'll be $55 or whatever the price of a hot dog is. I don't even know. Yeah.
It depends. Are we talking like Costco hot dogs? Because that makes things a little bit easier.
Them shit's cheap.
Ooh.
They're also huge,
You're talking like
though.
Fair hot dogs.
Yeah.
That's quite a
ballpark
a bag
hot dogs.
You're going to be dropping on hot dogs.
Right. You guys watched Arthur the Aardvark, right?
Fuck yes.
Was that his name, or was it just Arthur? It might have just been
It
Arthur.
was just Arthur.
But he was an Aardvark, and if you just said Arthur...
He was Arthur the Aardvark, but they never refer to him as that.
They were...
If you just think of it... If I were to just say Arthur, you might think it's like a prestige drama on Showtime or something. Like about a fucking... I don't know, a lawyer who defends only people that... attempted a hit and run, but it was for the right reason. I don't
make it happen, HBO. Make Arthur a drama. But go on.
It's was it Defending Jacob? But it's
exactly.
But it's with an aardvark.
Defending Jacob, but it's an aardvark, and that was the little Nazi kid from Knives Out, right?
Oh yeah,
it was.
I think so. Yeah,
the star, and then Chris, one of the Chris's,
Evans. I think it was Chris Evans.
It was Chris Evans. Was the star. But yeah, anyway, sidetrack. Everyone watched Arthur. Do you remember, I remember this shit so vividly, the scene where, remember Mr. Ratburn had like that rival teacher who was like the Squilliam fancy son to his Squidward tentacles?
Yes.
And he was like, it was from like a fancy school and like all the kids were better than them and stuff like that.
The rich kid private school.
Yeah, well, yeah, they probably didn't mention that specifically, but that's clearly what they were trying to get at. They're the rich kid private school. There was one part where Baxter was like, it was like an Olympics. They were doing like a bunch of competitions and stuff, and Baxter was the bunny, right?
Yeah.
He was like the best friend of Arthur. He ate a lot of food, so they put him in a pie eating contest against the like one of the kids from the fancy private school, and the kid from the fancy private school was like trained to be a competitive eater and like beat the fuck out of Baxter.
Yeah.
Like Baxter like started wolfing down pies and was like crushing him, and the kid from the fancy private school was like cutting it with a fork and knife and shit. But the kid from the fancy private school had been trained, where he said his secret was, and he like was like the Baxter, oh, you didn't train? Like he ate a bunch of food for like a month leading up to the pie eating contest to like expand his stomach, and then starved himself for a couple of days so that it would be completely empty, and then ate a fuck ton of pie. That's child abuse, right? Like what the fuck, Arthur?
Oh yeah.
That's some cold shit right there.
This was also like kind of the reverse, but this was also a plot in Hey Arnold, I believe.
What the fuck?
It was like, but I think like whoever the character was, I don't remember which one it was, that we knew from the show was taking on this dude who was like a competitive eater in like the eating contest. But like that dude wasn't trained. He was just, I am fat and I eat a lot of food. And the character that we as the audience were rooting for, he's like, all right, I have to train. And then he did that shit. He's like, I ate a ton of food for weeks. And then like 2 days beforehand, I consumed nothing but water. And then he won.
I also...
Rusty is the character's name, by the way. Sorry, no.
I also remember from this episode of Arthur, they had like the really smart kid compete in the trivia contest. I think his nickname was Brain. I think his real name, character name might have been Brian or something.
Yeah.
And then, because it was Middle Ages themed or something, if I remember now, he answered a question correctly, but the judge was like, oh no, you gotta answer it like they thought was the correct answer in the Middle Ages. And he just has this expression for a moment that's just, what are we doing here? Why is this a thing? Are you conspiring against us right now? Why would we ever need to know trivia as though we're in the middle? Why do you want us to know the wrong thing right now?
Yeah, I actually do remember that. Yeah, it was something about, was it like heliocentric versus, like Earth-centric model of the solar system or something like that. And he answered it, and then they said, like, no, fuck you, it's got to be medieval. Like, you have to use the knowledge that people would have had in the medieval times. And he was like, what the actual fuck?
These are 10-year-old children. Their entire education system up to this point was teaching them how we think stuff actually works. But in this one instance that we are going to grade these students on, kind of, you need to know the wrong thing here.
Yeah. So thank God for Wikia and fandom.
Hey.
The character in the pie eating contest's name was Rusty. He's a student of Glenbrook Academy in Mr. Price Jones's 3rd grade class.
Big private school.
He beat Buster in the pie eating contest because of his 18-liter stomach, which he got practice from eating giant breakfasts. He's an aardvark. Wears the Glenbrook uniform. And the only reason we know his name is Rusty is because they made, like, novelizations of every Arthur episode. So, like, kids could practice reading and stuff. And in the novelization, they mention that character's name, but they never mention it in the TV episode. He's just the dude. I think he pulls up his shirt and reveals he's got a fucking massive gut. Like,
Jesus.
Which, once again, fucking child abuse. Like,
yeah, that not only is this kid in medical trauma, but he's also going to experience just, like, body dysmorphia like you wouldn't even fucking believe.
Glenbrook Academy was competing against their Arthur's school in the Elwood City Medieval Fair. So that's why they were like, no, fuck you, you got it wrong.
It's so weird to... No, it's weirdly cyclical that there are novelizations of Arthur episodes because that started out as a children's book series.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like a Berenstain Bears type thing?
Yeah, very much.
Is that happening with Berenstain Bears too?
They were originally books, yeah.
Yeah, they were like the picture
I knew they were
books.
books. They became a show? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
And then they became a novelization based on that show?
I think so. I remember there being Berenstain Bears chapter
I think
books.
I think it's just reversed, is that they made a ton of those like picture books and then they made episodes based on all those books. Because there was a fuck ton of them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty wild, man.
Also, that's a good episode of Arthur. I think the ending of that is that they just lose, but then the lesson is, no, hey, we still have value. Like, even if we're not the best at something, we can still be happy and have fun.
The episode was called The Return of the King, which is amazing that they put Lord of the Rings episode reference in a children's book. It opens, they go to a medieval fair. Mr. Ratburn sees that Glenbrook Academy's there. Mr. Price Jones, who was Mr. Ratburn's teacher. I didn't remember that wrinkle, that Mr. Price Jones was the sensei. No. That's pretty wild. Arthur notices a sword in the stone, and whoever can pull it out will be the king of the fair, and it doesn't work. He can't pull it out. He's not worthy.
Oh, this is coming back to me now, yeah.
There's got to be they do that where they have like a notch into the sword, and whoever's running the thing can like open the notch whenever they want someone to win or whatever.
No, the trick was you just had to kind of like jiggle it out. Everybody was like trying to tug it out. He's like, what we use a light touch here? We just kind of like
don't use all your strength.
Yeah.
What if he thought he figured it out and he thought he was this super smart genius, but meanwhile, the guy at the exhibit was just like, all right, this kid's the one that gets it. Like,
they just have a counter and it's like, all right, we have 14,999 tugs.
Yeah.
after 15,000 tugs, it just comes out.
It's a fucking slot machine, basically.
Guys, it's 4:45 p.m. We got to start winding this down. Just let some kid take the sword. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
We're
he's gonna want, whoever gets it's gonna want like their picture taken and shit. They're probably gonna want to like, I don't know, get some memorabilia. All right, let's just do this now. That way we can start cleaning up early.
Management is not gonna let us do overtime, guys. Like, we gotta go.
I feel like it's like musical chairs, which, by the fucking way, was rigged from the beginning. Like, musical chairs, you know the teachers that ran the music turned it off when the shithead kids weren't near the chair. Like,
yeah, they're like, all right, fuck that guy. He's sitting out.
The teachers chose who won musical chairs. Especially because the last chair, whoever turns off the music, whoever's sitting in front of the chair wins. Like, there's just two people. So someone's not near the chair and the other person is. The only way to do it fairly would be if the person doing the music, like, covered their eyes or had a blindfold or something. Like, it was chosen. It was literally, I choose who wins. Or, more likely, like, when there's two people that they know are going to get rough and wild, like, equidistant from the last chair, they turn it off and just watch the fireworks, right? Like, what the fuck? That game is weird when you think about it. I had more injuries from musical chairs than, like, actual violent games like Red Rover or, like, Dodgeball and shit. Like, musical chairs could fuck you up, man. Pinching fingers in between the chairs, or like falling over, bumps and bruises. No fucking way, man.
Kids were throwing elbows. It was a lot.
Yeah. It says, by the way, they don't go into it with the brain and the trivia thing. It just says throughout the day they lose every single one. Arthur loses in a maze. Francine loses in archery, which. Did they build up her character very artificially to be good at archery for that one episode? Or did they just go like, Francine, you're pretty good with a bow and arrow? And she's like, I am. And then it became canon? Like,
I think she was...
I'm curious about that.
She was the athletic tomboy girl, if I recall correctly.
And athletic tomboy girls are definitely skilled with a bow and an arrow?
There might have been some queer coding going on there. Let's not dig too far into it.
Francine lost at the softball game. Yeah, just going real.
Riverdale taught all of us that gay girls shoot bow and arrow like you wouldn't fucking believe.
Is that real? Is that real, Andrew?
Yeah. It is. It is a thing in that dumb show.
Spectacular.
It says Brain fails at a trivia competition, which just seems very brutal, because I do remember that too. And that's exactly how it went down. Brain had it right. And all the other ones, they're like, oh yeah, Arthur loses, Francine loses, even Buster loses at a fighting contest. But then they say, Brain fails. Like, I think whoever wrote this wiki did not really like Brain.
You could edit it, man. You could.
Can I? Do I have to make an account?
No, we let anonymous users go for it.
Okay. Brain gets fucked over at a trivia competition on the Arthur wiki.
that might get your ISP blocked for
damn it
for a couple of days.
I mean, that's a thing though, right? It is for, you would know this, Lucas, for wikis, is the level of like what you can get away with based on the source material. So like for Arthur, you couldn't get away with saying the same type of like characterizations as for the Game of Thrones wiki.
Yeah, that very much so, and that is partially like trying to have the content match like the needs of the audience, or just like the what the audience is. But then there are also some COPPA guidelines that we have to follow that kind of require a heavier hand on like wikis geared towards younger people, or who like mostly kids on that. Yeah.
Would you say that a wiki like the Arthur wiki is more used by children looking to like look up more information about their favorite show, or by adults reminiscing and trying to remember plot points like we're doing right now? Is there a way you can measure that?
There used to be. I think we went through a third party for that information. I don't know if we re-upped that contract, but I remember, stuff like Arthur, it was more split than what you thought it would be. But then we ultimately made the decision that, well, this is for kids. So anybody looking at this, we need to make sure this is firmly in line with COPPA guidelines.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. Also, a part that I forgot, they overhear, what's it called? Mr. Haney was talking, the principal was talking to Mr. Price Jones, and they know that Mr. Price Jones is like super strict. So they think that if they lose the competition, that the strict asshole teacher will become their teacher. Like, that's what's going to convince Mr. Haney to fire Mr. Ratburn and hire Mr. Price Jones, that the students that Mr. Ratburn taught lost in a medieval joke competition at a fair. So that's how they raise the stakes in the show. Which is actually kind of accurate.
Yeah.
Like, I remember all sorts of shit like that from elementary school where none of it made any logical sense, but like...
kids don't understand how the fucking world works.
No.
Like,
definitely not. And then finally, in the end, they talk about how Arthur ends up pulling the sword in the stone, becomes the king of the fair. Mr. Price Jones congratulates Mr. Ratburn, declaring that he taught Arthur well. It's another man-tooth moment of I just pure hate you, but god damn it, do I respect you, or whatever the fuck.
I like how it's just like, you know what? All of your kids have failed. Mine are superior in every single competition of skill and or knowledge. But that guy, he hit the jackpot on the slot machine. Congratulations,
dude, you
won.
nailed it. You fucking nailed it, man. Mr. Ratburn, like, it's Squilliam fainting at the sight of sweet victory. Like, oh my god, comeuppance. And then it turns out that Mr. Price Jones was not going to replace Mr. Ratburn, but he was going to be tutoring the principal's niece and nephew. Which,
wow,
he's a full-time teacher at a private school. Why the fuck is he tutoring children on the side? He's got a side hustle for a principal.
I mean, also the disrespect. Can you imagine going to
a rival teacher?
Yeah.
From a different school to tutor your students.
Fuck, I want you to tutor my kids.
You're way better than our teachers. But here's the fucking clincher.
Oh boy.
For this whole goddamn episode, another detail that we forgot. Oh, it's vindication, right? Everything's great. Oh wow, look, they ended up getting their own little minor moral victory and everything like that. And then Buster says, haha, he probably gave all of his kids homework on the way home. And then Mr. Ratburn heard that and assigned them all homework. So it's like, ha ha ha, wow, everything's the same, I guess. I don't know what the moral is. Arthur hears the Barker, who runs the sword in the stone, say that there's a reference to a gentle hand. Mm-hmm. The Barker fucking gave it to him. Like, he literally told him how to do it. Apparently he hadn't told anyone else, because I'm sorry, but that's 1+1 shit.
Yeah.
Like, he gave the game away. There was no hint that Arthur had to figure out. It was just him saying, dude, stop pulling so hard. And then he did it, and he won. And everyone's like, whoa, Arthur, you're so smart. And it's like, no, he's fucking not. The dude gave it to him.
Context
All the other
clues.
students, he could have said something. All the other students, he could have made a reference to a gentle hand, and he never did. And then he just gives it to Arthur for no fucking reason. That's some protagonist bias shit. That's some plot armor shit.
Dude, come on.
God
4:45, man. My improv. We have a set tonight. Like, this could be our break. I got to get out of here, man. Come on. You give it to this kid.
Oh, hey, kid, it requires a gentle hand. First kid still, like, yanking with all his might. Hey, kid, don't pull it so hard. Next kid. All right, kid, so you wiggle it once to the left, twice to the right, and then pull very gently, and you can get it out. Like, just progressively degrading to, like, dude, we got to get out of here.
He's like, all right, stand out of the way. Pulls it out himself. He did it.
Whoa, did you guys see that? Whoa, look, Heidi Klum. Everyone turns, pulls it out, gives it to this kid. Whoa, you missed it.
He presses the button that activates, like, the spring-loaded rock and then just shoots the sword into the sky.
Jesus.
Speaking of getting out of here, we have got to get out of the intro on episode 132 of the Voluntary Viewing podcast, recorded on February 21st, 2021. On the podcast today, we have Walking Arthur Encyclopedia, Ryan Holtz.
I am a primary researcher of the children's television show Arthur. I I'm mostly focused on the developmental impact of the various psychological concepts and topics that are discussed in the show. I would like to also reference a very influential episode on me personally, the episode where there was real fucking ghosts.
Yeah.
The ghosts fucking exist and they're real.
Yeah.
And I remember being so fucking scared of that shit as a kid and my parents having to calm me down. And I'm sure my parents were pissed the fuck off that Arthur ended an episode by saying ghosts were real. That is so irresponsible. What the actual fuck? Like, the whole episode is like, look, guys, ghosts aren't real. And I think we've just talked about this on the podcast before, but, like, then at the end, as, like, a way to undercut, like they did with Mr. Ratburn giving them homework anyway, like, they thought, this will be funny. What if ghosts are real? What? That'll psychologically fuck up a kid pretty bad, Arthur. That's some irresponsible shit.
His research is not motivated by passion. It's motivated by spite.
Yeah, by absolute fucking anger and by the knowledge that I will never ever show my kids the show Arthur. Mr. Ratburn, getting married and coming out as gay as a TV character, coming out as gay, everything like that. Don't give a fuck. That has zero psychological impact. Saying ghosts are real? That's what parents should actually be upset about. That's what they should actually write letters about.
This is why we are a Franklin the Turtle House kids. Let's fucking go.
Oh no, I don't know about that. I'm a roly-poly-oly kid.
Oh. Hey.
Oh, get at me.
I was on the podcast today. We have a man who will be playing Battlefield 1 after the heat death of the universe, Andrew Clark.
It's a fun game, and I'm not as good at it as I used to be.
No.
That's what happens when you don't practice.
Dude, we were top squad that last game.
We were top squad.
We were top squad almost every time.
But, like, I wasn't going, like, 35-7 like I used to.
I think it's skill-based stuff. I think the player base has eroded away.
Also, K to D, not that big a deal in Battlefield as it is in something like Call of Duty. It's all about the points in Battlefield, in my humble opinion.
I mean, KD is never important in any first-person shooter, other than for, like, tryhards trying to brag about how good they are. Mm-hmm. But, like, no, it's always going to be playing the objective. The only time that KD is important is for, something like Team Deathmatch, where it's just straight up, can you kill more people than you die? So, yeah. No, any game that has an objective, KD is bullshit. Like, it's worthless. It almost, a lot of times, it's antithetical to how good your team is doing. Like, unless in Battlefield, if you're flying a plane or something and just constantly killing everyone on the enemy team, that can be super dominant. But a lot of the times, if someone went 35-3, it meant they were just on the edges of the map sniping and they never played the objective once. Like, so yeah. Also, Andrew's name is Anonymous Badger. I just wanted to throw that out on the Google Doc. That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Huh.
And then also, Andrew, did you watch the Jack Frags video that he did with Battlefield 1?
No.
That man's a fucking savant. Dude, he's so good. It's so fun to watch. It's like, oh, this is how the game's supposed to be played.
Mm-hmm.
So.
No, man is good. Man is good at video games.
And then last but not least on the podcast is me, Lucas the Writer, and I am a man who is about to be gleefully drowning in JRPGs. What's the name of the character in Oktoberfest, Andrew, who he falls into the vat of beer and then he can't swim out, so he just tries to start drinking it and, like, get out that way?
I haven't seen Oktoberfest.
What?
Augustus Gloop? Was that an Augustus Gloop reference?
No, that was from Oktoberfest. I think,
I've seen the movie Oktoberfest, like, once.
Oh, okay. I thought you were big, what are they called? The Broken Lizard. Whatever. I thought you were big into them.
The first half of Super Troopers is great.
Yeah.
If you've ever watched Super
Once
Troopers
the
lately,
plot happens, it kind of falls off.
Yeah, it's fucking awful after the first half. The first half is, like, whatever that comedy group is, it's just like a bunch of set pieces from that comedy group, basically.
Yeah,
and then,
it's like, they're like individual sketches that are really funny.
Yeah. Like, they nail it, and then,
And then they're like, oh, what if the other group of cops were corrupt and there's drugs and you gotta save the town? Like, who cares?
Very much.
What a goddamn leader of cola.
Very much a...
Does that look like spit tea?
Very much a Stripes problem where, these are funny people, let's just let them dick around, but also we need We need another half hour to sell this as a movie. Let's get something in there.
Honestly, I wouldn't hate it if a movie just said "fuck it" to the conventional, like, oh, there's got to be a plot. I'd be kind of great if it was just an hour and a half of relatively disconnected sketches, like more TV show than anything, and there's not really an overarching plot, and then it just ends on the funniest sketch.
That's how Caddyshack kind of accidentally happened.
Yeah. Cinema verite, if you
Ooh.
will, but for a comedy troupe. And very much not cinema verite, because that's just kind of slice of life, nothing happens bullshit. And a scripted comedy sketch movie would be very much the opposite of that, with very distinct setups. I don't know if you guys have ever listened to jokes when there's, I don't know, when people act in ways that it's the only way for the joke to be funny is if this specific thing happens.
Yeah.
You know? And like, when you start to break it down, it really is dumb.
Yeah.
Like, someone responds in just the perfect way for the joke to land, and it's like, but no one talks like that. It's kind of cheating. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's a little like a slant rhyme in rap where it's like that. Those words don't rhyme. You pronounced it differently. Like in Highwayman, where they're like, again to rhyme with rain, and it's like, no, but that's not how you say the word. That's cheating. Or fucking, and this is ripped off straight from Harmontown, so go ahead and call me out for it. But fucking Piano Man, making love to his tonic and gin. Fuck off. Like, no. You literally flipped them because you needed something to rhyme. Like, that's some bullshit right there.
And we are going to get into a whole bunch of bullshit in News of the Week. Yeah, mentioned this a little bit off mic, but this Nintendo Direct was for me. Fuck everyone else. Fuck you, Donkey. Your icon's a donkey, but you call yourself Donkey? What the fuck's that about? Putting you on blast, Donkey.
Should Ryan and I just, like, I don't know, go do something while you take care of this?
Should we do our own podcast for 20 minutes?
Yeah, hey, Ryan and I are going to take care of the quarantine cast a little bit early. You keep doing this.
Okay, yeah, we're going to do what we usually do for these. I'll go through the bullets. Feel free to interject whenever you guys have feelings on something. Remember the game with the weirdly sexualized rabbit lady, Xenoblade Chronicles 2? Well, two other... No? You don't remember that nightmare?
Andrew, that was rude.
You don't remember that nightmare?
He asked. I don't remember that.
Good for you.
This is his writing style, Andrew.
Good for you, honestly, that you get to escape that. That haunts my dreams. Ugh. Two other women from the series are going to be in Smash in March.
I'm trying to find a picture of the rabbit lady.
Xenoblade Chronicles rabbit lady does... Okay.
Weirdly sexualized? Or anime?
That's... You know how some people say that a woman has legs for days? That character has tits for days.
And hair that turns into ears because she's anthropomorphized, I guess.
Wow. I hate this.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it.
Isn't it? But Donkey made fun of this. Didn't you say "fuck you, Donkey"?
Even a broken clock's right twice a day.
You started this, like, your intro was, "This was made for me." It was perfect.
Yeah.
And then the first thing you say is, "This fucking sucks," and I don't know why it's here.
Yes.
This is some bullshit.
I think it is bullshit, but also I love it because people who care way too much about what characters get into Smash are furious right now. Because a lot of them are like, yeah, we should have the characters from franchises that are underrepresented have more appearance here. Like, what if Tails from Sonic or another Metroid or another Metal Gear? And now they are getting that, except it's for fucking Xenoblade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Donkey hit the nail on the head where he's like, it's literally another anime character with gargantuan tits and a sword.
Yep.
Like that's,
blue hair and a sword.
Yeah, this is so lame.
This one has red hair. Different.
Oh man, look at all the variety.
Guys, Fall Guys is finally coming to the Switch this summer. Thank God.
Just in time.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
They were struggling for a minute there. Like, they really seemed
No,
like they
they're
had
at
lost
the
everything.
peak of their popularity. They're
Oh.
advancing perfectly at the right time.
I mean, when you think of a game with the little bean guys in it, it's Fall Guys and nothing else.
Didn't Fall Guys probably hit peak popularity before last summer? Or was it during the summer? I don't remember when Fall Guys...
I think it was during the
exploded
summer.
I think it
on the
was
stream.
I think it was early June. Yeah, so like maybe kinda technically summer. Yeah.
That's fair. Never mind then. I was going to say, like, wow, this would have been great exactly a year ago.
Yeah.
Which I guess, yeah, it still would have, but
Yeah.
who knows.
Outer Wilds coming to Switch this summer. Might finally play that now. Something called the Famicom Detective Club is coming to the Switch, and that was such a deep cut that even I'm not sure what's totally up with that. Samurai Warriors 5. Don't buy it. Legend of Mana coming.
This is for me. Once again.
No,
Lucas
also,
really
no
liked
explanation. Don't buy this.
this. Yeah.
It's not so the Warriors, the Muso Warriors games that aren't like for another IP at this point, like Zelda or Persona, they're just fucking cash grabs. They're asset flip cash grabs.
At this
They're
point,
all those things.
at this point, you've had 5 topics. You've only liked one of them.
Hold up,
The other 4 you've made fun of.
we're about to get in a roll here. Here we go.
Oh, these are the good
Get
ones.
ready. This
Here
is
we
just
go.
a warm-up, man. This was all fucking stretching. Now we're getting into it. Happy birthday to me. Legend of Mana coming to Switch on June 24th, my actual birthday.
Hey, we got another 2 for 6.
Fucking go.
Let's get this batting average up.
Congrats again, anime fans. Monster Hunter Rise officially coming out on March 26th.
That's my brother and sister's birthday.
Oh.
So that's weird. Back-to-back topics
Huh.
with birthdays.
Huh.
Yeah.
Talked about it before. Motherfucking Mario Golf Super Rush. I need not say more. June 25th.
Yes, you do. You need to say more. Why is this cooler than, like something like Odyssey or Zelda, like the long-awaited sequels? This should be a slap in the face to people that thought this was going to be something bigger.
Man, it's like the only people who don't like Krabby Patties haven't tried one situation. You just gotta go for it.
No, Mario Golf, nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But if it was released alongside one of the releases that they were desperately waiting for, yeah, everyone would be like, that sounds actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
But now it's like, this is one of the biggest, if not the biggest announcement in the whole Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a slap in the face when you're expecting a lot more.
Man, Wario's a plaid cowboy. That's a welcome slap in the face. Oh, I lost my spot. No More Heroes 3 out August 27th. God,
That's my birthday.
what? No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Roll with it.
Andrew's K-Fab birthday. God, the sexual tension between Travis and the boss alien. I love it. Shoot into my veins. I need it.
Oh, don't say shoot it.
When Nintendo Directs happen and Lucas gets into it, I feel like I dropped acid right beforehand.
That's appropriate because Neon White looks like a rad acid trip and is out this winter. Somehow a combination card game and first-person shooter with Steve Bloom doing the Spike Spiegel voice. Here we go.
This is just fucking Mad Libs.
Yeah.
it's a first-person shooter and card game and insert adjective and insert
Bebop.
voice actor and insert character name in a shitty video game. Honestly, Spike Spiegel.
I'm sorry, are Mad Libs not fun now? Do people not like Mad Libs? I didn't get that memo. Do we hate
Mad
Mad
Libs
Libs
are
now?
fun for a minute. They are fun while you're reading them. Not people don't read them and then publish them as novels and have people spend X amount of hours of their life reading them.
Plants vs. Zombies is a battle royale now. We're old.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Better than Tetris, though. Tetris is a battle royale.
Yeah, well, okay, that...
We're old.
I actually...
Mario was a battle royale.
That's right. I actually like the Tetris.
Fucking Trivia Crack is a battle royale. I launched Trivia Crack for the first time in like 4 years. Used to be one of my favorite games. First of all, that game has user-submitted questions.
Oh, no.
So they'll just be like blatant misspellings or like really stupid questions like, which member of One Direction is the best? Like,
oh!
What color is my underwear?
Fuck.
and it has, it's Battle Royale. Like, you and 12 people compete to be the last person answering correctly.
Next up, Project Triangle Strategy is Octopath Traveler meets the good parts of Game of Thrones. I can't fucking wait.
Which good parts would you say?
Like political intrigue and a bunch of characters trying to figure out what is the right thing to do and their own individual values, making them come to different conclusions and conflict ensuing because of those different conclusions.
There you go.
Yeah.
Project Triangle Strategy. Working title, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, but Octopath Traveler was also a working title at one point. So
Octopath Traveler is much more of a title than Project Triangle Strategy.
All I'm saying is they might go with Triangle Strategy in the end, and I don't know how I feel about that.
I do. That's dumb.
Yeah, you should feel bad.
Demo out now. Haven't played it yet. Can't wait to. Bravely Default 2. Final trailer is out. That is coming out on the 26th. And I'm just peacing out once that happens. I'm just, gonna stop existing, and that's just gonna be my life for a while. And I'm looking forward to it. World's End Club, Danganronpa as an action game. I know that's also a Mad Lib to you people, so we're moving on. Hyrule Warriors expansion pass. Saga Frontier Remastered coming April 5th. Give it to me. And then Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD coming to Switch on July 16th. We'll have both motion controls and button control.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Is someone gonna argue that shit belongs on the top 10 list then? Because it has actual things added to the gameplay.
I mean, there are 8 games that came out of this that I'm probably gonna play. The Skyward Sword being one of them, so we'll see where it falls.
Also, I don't think it added anything to the gameplay. Didn't it come out on the Wii? Isn't it built around motion controls?
Right, but now it has... You can play it without motion
Not as
controls.
bold.
Yeah.
Oh,
they added button controls, Andrew.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
And it's in HD.
No, that doesn't count. That absolutely doesn't count. We talked about up-resing textures as not being sufficient for being a new release.
And then last but not least, Splatoon 3 coming out in 2022. Bunch of people freaked out because the trailer had the Eiffel Tower upside down in a desert, and people didn't realize that Splatoon takes place after a likely climate-related apocalypse.
Why would a climate-related apocalypse flip the Eiffel Tower, though?
Strong winds?
Made it do a somersault?
Yeah.
Like, if it was laying flat, half buried in the sand, sure, but why...
No, it's like half.
I think more likely.
It is just the lower half of the Eiffel Tower that's sticking up.
I know, but that means it's upside down, not laying down.
Yeah.
Strong winds would knock it over and then bury it halfway. To flip it upside down, King Kong would have to rip it out of its supports and spike it like a
really
football.
Strong winds. Ripped everything out of the ground, blew the Eiffel Tower off of its stand, kind of tumbled through the air, and then landed like a lawn dart.
Yeah.
Stuck in the ground.
Like vibrating back and forth as it stuck in the ground. Yeah. Okay, I guess. What's really strong winds? 700 miles per hour? Like,
Sure.
Fair enough.
I have no perspective on this. I think
Also, Splatoon 3. What?
yeah.
In the age of ongoing games.
Yep.
What could possibly require a third version of the video game Splatoon? What are they so desperate to unleash upon the population? In the age of Fortnite, just adding entire games randomly every month. Why is this a thing?
People like that character selection options and traits and features aren't locked to gender anymore.
They could have patched that. That could have
you could add that in.
I just said Fortnite does entire games.
Yeah.
Minecraft is unrecognizable. There's ongoing games. Why the fuck are you
I don't know.
releasing entire releases?
Minecraft could add a mode that is just VR porn. And people would be like, honestly, this isn't the worst option they could have gone with. This isn't as far from the base as things they've done before. Okay, I gotta ask though, are you excited about Splatoon 3, Lucas?
I don't think I'm going to play it, but I'm very much going to enjoy the memes and shit that come out of it.
Okay, so let's count
Oh boy.
how many things Lucas was actually interested in.
Yeah.
One.
Outer Wilds.
Yep.
Were you Legend of Mana or no?
Yes.
I think you were lukewarm. Oh, you were?
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's 2,
Monster Hunter Rise.
3,
Mario Golf. No More
4,
Heroes.
5,
Neon White.
6,
Triangle Strategy.
7,
Bravely Default.
8.
World's End, you didn't say much about.
I mean, because I knew
World's
you
End,
guys
nay.
wouldn't be able to carry on a conversation. That was a yes. I'm probably going to get that.
Wow.
Yeah.
9.
I think 9, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Skyward Sword, were you?
Yeah, we'll go with 9.5.
Okay. 9.5 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Ooh! Half of them.
Yeah.
Exactly
half.
9.5 out of 19.
Dig it. That's
You get away with this one,
Pretty
Lucas.
so-
If it
that's
was
an
below
even
50%,
Yeah.
it would have been your end.
I knew where Andrew was going with
Yeah.
this, that if it would have been below the majority, it would not have been for you.
Also, I realize now, looking through this, that I just skipped over Star Wars Hunters, which tells you everything you
appropriate.
need to know about Star
Yeah,
Wars
exactly.
Hunters.
Which should almost be a -1. That should almost be, you're at 8.5 because you didn't even mention one of the things.
Yeah, good Nintendo Direct. I appreciated it. I'm looking forward to, half of everything they announced. Developer Highwire Games and publisher Victura insists that the game 6 Days in Fallujah will not be political.
God damn it.
Again, people in the video game industry and self-described gamers think that politics is just, are you gay or are you a woman? Those are the two things that are political.
They did want to make clear, though, that they are striving to make a player sympathetic for U.S. troops, but not their use of white phosphorus and any other war crimes that may have been committed. Those will not be in the game.
Wait, that's being political.
What?
Not including war crimes is being overtly political. Including the war crimes is not political because if it's historically accurate. Not including them is becoming political.
Yeah, it's an intention.
Yeah. If you stick 100% to the most accurate historical depiction of the events that happened, that is not political.
If you
don't
make a
go emotional
documentary
at all-
as a video game,
Yeah.
and I mean, and documentaries are inherently,
Documentaries are going to have a
Political
point of
too.
view.
Right.
You're going to have to stick to... You're not going to be able to have any emotional attachment to anyone. It's going to have to be just an objective retelling of what is happening. If you do that, not political. That's the only way you're not political if you're making a war game. If you go with emotion for anyone, either side, automatically you're tinging it towards you have a thing to say, you have a political opinion, and the minute you start expressly not including bad things that one side did, you're getting so political, it's insane. God damn.
I wonder.
Yeah, I see that they mentioned the division shit. Mm-hmm. They're like, it's not political, and it's like, didn't the bad guy's logo was a black power fist? I'm gonna go out and say a little political.
I think that one was actually for an Ubisoft mobile game, a Tom Clancy game. But
Okay,
no, the Division.
Ubisoft.
The Division was the one where it's like. Playing...
The Division is a Tom Clancy game. I think The Division 2, the bad guys were the black... Wait, was it?
I'm pretty sure that was just a mobile game where the bad guys were called Umbra. Yeah.
Just a mobile game.
Yeah.
No one plays those.
No. That's not most gamers, if we're actually counting that as anyone who plays games.
There's a new trend on TikTok, and it's like... girl gamers, rise up and like break gender norms and show your gaming stations and stuff like that. And most of the girls doing it are tongue in cheek, like just their mobile phones with like some clicker
or
game.
It's just like their MacBook on a blank desk with like a can of soda next to it.
It's pretty good. In an update to a story from last week, Valve hates fun and bans developer Very Positive from Steam. Very Positive has responded with the tweet, "I've made a really bad game. This is the only thing I'm guilty of. If making awful games is not allowed on Steam, why haven't they already suspended the CDPR account?"
Ooh.
Damn.
Go off, King. Valve has banned my developer account due to the, quote, review manipulations. Absolutely disagree with this accusation.
I mean, there's a version of this where the guy behind the Very Positive team Very Positive is a great name for a studio. That's not going to be an issue whatsoever. But no, they knew what they were doing.
No, of course they did.
Yeah.
But that's not the point, right?
No.
The point is like, maybe I pointed out a design flaw in your Steam game page thing, and rather than leave it up as the tongue-in-cheek joke that it is, you decided to bring down the fucking ban hammer on me. That's some bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to agree.
Right. Moving into TV, for some reason, 2 new seasons of Total Drama Island are coming to HBO Max.
What do you mean, for some reason?
I remember Total Drama Island.
The first season of that show was so fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Just...
What the fuck did they do?
I don't know.
What are we gonna do now?
I remember watching the first season of that show. I rewatched it in college, but I remember watching the first season of that show when I was a kid. I'm like, this is dope. This is so funny. And then, like, I watched like the first 2 or 3 episodes of the second season, and like, I'm done.
That was my first ever appointment TV show in my life. It represented the threshold of me turning into like a more like mature, intelligent TV viewer. Is because before then it would just be like, oh, I know SpongeBob's on at 3. I don't know if it's a fucking repeat or like if this is the first episode, this is an original, stuff like that. I just knew when it was on. Fucking Total Drama Island, I knew what day and what time it was on, and every time after football, I had youth football practice. I remember I would get home, fucking throw on Total Drama Island with my brother and most of the time my sister, and fucking tune into the new episode of what the fuck happened on Total Drama Island. It was so good.
And that, like, on every level, it just broke down after that. Like, looking at the image, it's like, okay, cool, Season 1 character designs. That, yeah, fair. Like, I get it, you're playing with stereotypes, but it works. But then every other character not from Season 1, who the fuck approved this?
Yeah. Where's Owen?
Oh, God. Oh, fuck. Are they leaving?
The fuck is Owen? He was the best character on the whole show.
Are we seeing Owen erasure right now?
If they fucking erase Owen, that dude almost won.
He did win.
Owen was the best.
Officially?
Yeah. He won the first one, but then he was like, nah, I just want to keep having fun with my friends.
Right.
Let's roll it again.
He did win because it was, what's it called? They like cooked up food to like get him to revive and rush because he's fat. No, it was a fat joke, but yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, you're right. He did win. And didn't they discover, that it was all bullshit and they weren't on an island and it was just like there was a Taco Bell like right near the set?
Yeah, and And somehow that was like a fucked up thing, even though like you guys signed up for a game show. Like, what does it matter if you're actually in the wilderness or not?
I think that there were plot points throughout the season that were like, oh, well, we can't do this because, it's like, oh, you can't quit because it'd be expensive to take you back to the mainland and stuff, so you might as well keep playing or stuff like that. And then
Okay.
I think that there was plot points that they were completely fucking them over because, no, they were literally steps away from civilization, basically.
Moving into the other category, Time Magazine lists the Demon Slayer mangaka Kyoharu Gotogue in their 2021 Time 100 Next list, which is cool, but like that manga ended this year, and even if it's the biggest thing in the world right now, most people in manga get like one instance of lightning in a bottle, and very rarely do they have anything that gets close to as popular, as successful as the best thing they've made.
That's depressing.
Right?
Why do you think that's a thing?
It could be a lot of things. Like, up until very recently and still now, kind of, it was a very intense industry to work in, where a lot of people report, I get like 6 hours of sleep and 1 hour of free time a day, and the rest of it I'm working. So there's a lot of burnout, and maybe that just stifles the creativity that's really kind of needed for this industry. But I don't know. And I think this author doesn't have their pronouns listed anywhere, but I don't know, maybe they just want to do some weird stuff after this, like a lot of other people, and then they don't really care about it being commercially successful because they got theirs already, and that would be fine, but I don't know. Yeah.
So you're saying this is like a vanilla for mass consumption manga, you would say?
Absolutely. Like, designed to be super popular. Demon Slayer, yeah.
Look at the fucking box art and the title and all. I love that that's like what qualifies as vanilla bullshit manga.
Yes. Yeah.
Because it's so fucking weird looking.
Yeah, what's a manga about? Yeah, like a group of friends that like go through high school. What is that? If this is vanilla, what is that? That's just
that is also vanilla.
Yeah, slice of life shit in manga and anime is also vanilla, right? It's just a different audience.
It's like vanilla ice cream versus vanilla bean ice cream. It's like, yeah.
That means that something like Rocky Road is so far fucked. Like,
yeah.
If the scale from something, yeah, like these are just three teenagers living high school, and Demon Slayer is like, that's the gap, then to get to like Rocky Road is fucking like a mile.
Yep.
What? That's so far. The scale of manga is mind-boggling. It's like when you start talking about the scale of the space between planets.
Yep.
And you're just like, oh shit, you could fit 4 suns between the Earth and whatever the fuck, like the scale is huge. You can't even picture it.
What other like anime flavors are there? Like,
yeah, what is the elephant tracks of manga, would you say? You're getting pretty far out there. This is some wild shit.
This is me being very on brand, but Chainsaw Man is probably the elephant tracks of manga.
Chainsaw Man's extremely popular.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it's also, I'm going to say it, I've said it before, Chainsaw Man is not innovative. It is not new. It is the same plot as like 50 other anime. I remember, I don't know why. It's because we talk about anime and my phone listens to me. So I get every once in a while anime videos on my YouTube recommended, and it was like best new anime or best new manga of this month. And every single time it's young man in world, which is the same as ours, except there's monsters or witches or, something of some kind, and he's on his own, and he's distrustful of people, and, oh man, something bad happens to him, and he gains the power of those bad creatures and has to decide how to use it for good, all the while learning how to care about people and why he's not the only important person in the world, and relationships matter. And I'm like, oh, that's Chainsaw Man. I'm like, this, and then there's like 50 of those.
Andrew, you're describing any fantasy supernatural series right now.
Sure. Maybe I am.
He might be, but he's not claiming that those any fantasy series are super crazy and way out there. Like, he's saying, no, those are standard.
I
mean, it doesn't sound like if this Demon Slayer is the vanilla bean to a show about 4 teenage high school girls that are just trying to make their way through life's vanilla, like, how in the world is Chainsaw Man that far gone from that hierarchy? That it's like something with intense, crazy flavors that are way over the top.
Chainsaw Man's themes and like plots and characters are not extreme or innovative or anything like that. The artwork is brutally graphic. I mean, to the point where, sometimes parts of it get banned. Like, yeah, the violence and the gore is one thing, but also there's the giant spread of the 6 naked lesbians scissoring that I saw you like retweet something that like it's still banned, like that issue's still banned online.
I liked it. Also, yeah, I understand why that's banned. Oh, yeah, Andrew. Like every series of this kind of ilk definitely ends by killing the main villain by eating them. Yeah,
no,
that's common.
Like
that's the thing
issues.
Everything does.
Fantasy High. I don't watch much of this content. Fantasy High ends with them eating the main villain. Season 1 of Fantasy High. Spoiler alert, Andrew. I doubt you'll ever watch it. But you don't even know who the main villain is until like the second to last episode anyway, so... But they eat him.
I mean, they eat him after he's already dead. This is more the only way we can... Okay.
And this is not a I don't like Chainsaw Man, I hate Chainsaw Man. Like, you're dumb for liking Chainsaw Man. Because we've been over this. I think a lot of Chainsaw Man is dumb. I still enjoyed reading it. And I can see why you enjoyed it. And I thought a lot of the shit that they did was like, oh wow, I didn't see that coming. I liked the way that they ended that series. Even though it's not over and they're just going to keep
Part
going
2, here we go!
I mean, I don't know anything about Chainsaw Man. I'm not making a value judgment on Chainsaw Man at all. I'm just saying it seems impossible to me because the scale that you have drawn in my head is exactly that. It's like planetary. It's like galaxy and solar system gaps. Because to me, I've seen some mangas that are, completely slice of life, not a single fantastical thing.
Right.
That's vanilla. Now this manga that I don't know anything about, called Demon Slayer, I'm looking at the cover art. It looks like it's going to be relatively out there. That's Vanilla Bean. Holy fuck, what is something insane like, that has a bunch of crazy flavors and marshmallows and random shit in there.
Okay. So
Chainsaw Man is like turtle ice cream. There's a lot of flavors.
Throw some pecans in there.
Yeah.
Well, but yeah, like there's nothing in there that would, be like, oh my god, this is crazy. It's a Snickers in vanilla ice cream.
So I think the difference here, I think the difference maker here is that this is within genres. Like Demon Slayer, very vanilla for the shonen genre, whereas what you're describing, any hypothetical anime about like, a bunch of high school kids hanging out and figuring out life, that is vanilla within the slice of life, maybe like shoujo genre. Yeah.
So what's now I want to know what is not vanilla in the slice of life shoujo genre. What is some weird shit? Because as soon as you get weird enough, aren't you transcending that genre?
I don't know.
That's kind of a confusing dichotomy to paint, isn't it?
I don't know.
It's almost like you're not... It's like Ian's thing with the horror versus thriller.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if a horror movie becomes too good, it just becomes a thriller. So it's almost like you can't transcend the genre too much or you'll just not be in the genre. So that becomes, like an interesting
Right.
dichotomy to create,
Yeah.
almost.
I don't know slice of life series super well.
We know what Lucas prefers.
Yeah, I'm trash.
Lucas likes laser beams and big titties.
Can that be the episode title? Laser beams and big titties?
Sure.
SEO.
Yeah, if you're okay with the SEO being fun.
Like that won't perform great.
It's like a vanilla chocolate swirl cone. You got multiple flavors in there. You like it. It's good. It's nothing innovative. You might think like, wow, this is something special that I got right here. I got vanilla and chocolate, 2 basic flavors, but put them together, have them in a cone. It's a whole different thing.
Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. I don't know. Vanilla and chocolate swirl is garbage.
Yeah.
It's garbage. Chocolate ice cream's not great.
Just like anime.
I'm willing to go out. Wow.
So wait, are we the
chocolate ice cream's fucking overrated. I've said it. It's fine. It's consumable. Vanilla ice cream with chocolate syrup, on the other hand.
Okay.
Now you're cooking with some gas. That's chocolate syrup way better than chocolate ice cream.
So wait, are we defining slice of life as like no supernatural elements whatsoever?
Exactly. Isn't that the thing? Like, what if it's slice of life, but there are some supernatural elements that creep into it? Mm-hmm. It's like, well, yeah, now it's starting to transcend slice of life. So it gets difficult for any slice of life manga to not be vanilla, because then almost by definition it's no longer a slice of life. Yeah.
So and this might be a little bit of recency bias. I'm going to say the whatever flavor of ice cream we're on right now, Rocky Road of slice of life manga is a series called Komi-san Can't Communicate, which is a slice of life, more comedic series that is largely about a girl with a communication disorder trying to have a social life and enjoy high school and make friends while kind of getting over the hardships and challenges that kind of come with that. And yeah, I think that makes it distinct in and of itself right there. But then it's also the only slice of life series I'm familiar with where I'm kind of like, they might just resolve the love triangle with a polyamorous relationship. Let's fucking go. Just do that.
Well,
yeah.
Look, I laid down the gauntlet, and I was embarrassed. This reminds me of when fucking Stephen Colbert was asked to name 5 of the Einar from Lord of the Rings, and he named all 13. He was like, you come into my house, and you dare challenge my Lord of the Rings knowledge. That feels like me asking Lucas on the podcast that he hosts an anime manga. I don't know, Lucas. I feel like you've kind of talked yourself into a corner, and you fucking just come out boots a-blazing with a perfect example. Yeah, no, that sounds exactly it.
Well, that's perfect then. That means that manga or anime, whatever it is the Americone dream of anime. It's vanilla. It's basic ice cream, but there's some other good shit in there that it's like, I didn't expect this. This is good.
I did not expect we would get here, but I am thrilled that we have. And this is just a Lucas episode because one more nerdy anime thing, and also like good social politics thing. Landon McDonald replaces Vic Magonia as Kashibe Rohan's voice actor in the new JoJo's Bizarre Adventure limited series on Netflix.
It's the dub anyway, so who cares?
Oh!
Sub supremacy.
I love subs.
I do. I will never, ever watch a dub if there are
subs
available.
Subs all the way.
Dubs. Scream it with your chest. Dubs are trash. Bullshit. If the animators didn't animate the mouths to the language, I don't fucking want to watch it. If the actors on screen did not re-record the scenes in a different language, I don't want that shit. It's awful. It's so distracting. Animation can sometimes kind of get away with it because, let's be honest, the mouths are pretty lazily synced up anyway. But even then, there are absolutely cases where sometimes to explain a concept in one language, it's just a lot more words than in a different language. And it's very obvious and very distracting to me.
Yo, my guy over here watched all of Dark in German.
I fucking did,
Yeah.
absolutely. I made it through 2 minutes of the show. The opening scene is when there's first dialogue, when there's first diegetic dialogue of like characters actually talking and not just like VO. And I'm just like, wait, this is not in English.
Nope.
What the actual fuck? Got rid of that shit right there. Watched all of it. Had to download character guides from the internet, and that's when I actually finally started understanding some of the overarching shit. Because goddamn, is that thing a like puzzle field, which I just invented? It's a field full of puzzles. Don't think.
No,
about
I
it.
like it. Yeah, that's a good term.
It's impossible to. It's dense, but yeah, it's good, man. Those Germans, those fucking Germans.
That actually did remind me that an actor, a Japanese actor in a live-action JoJo's Bizarre Adventure project, got canceled recently because he was caught with a small amount of pot, and any drugs in Japan are, not good, not socially looked upon very well. So he's out
But why canceled?
because he was caught with a small amount of drugs.
Did he get arrested and like sent to prison?
I think that's still pending, but like he's not. Yeah, but you got caught with pot. Not gonna work anymore. Canceled.
I'm not very big on the cancel culture run amok, but like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, that
I
is.
mean, it's a completely different culture. Like Japan versus
Sure,
America is
right.
different, but like so to them socially, getting caught with drugs would be as bad or worse amongst the populace in terms of how people view you than sexually assaulting your coworkers.
Yeah,
Am I right?
that. Yeah, that's
fucked?
very fucked. Yeah,
It is.
Can't someone from Japan speak up and be like, look, guys, this
No, there
this
have
is
been.
fucked.
that is
Okay.
a growing movement, but
I'm just saying, like, if you get caught with a large amount of fentanyl or heroin, I don't think you get canceled in the United States. Like,
yep,
I don't. It's weird
yeah,
to me, and I feel like should be weird to most people on planet Earth. Like, what about alcohol?
totally fine.
Okay,
Yep.
I don't see any issues here.
No,
Do they?
Fuck
So they
that.
don't see drugs as a spectrum, basically, is what you're saying. Like, there's
right.
like cigarettes and alcohol are not drugs. Like, yeah, it's like a dichotomy where there's like 2 or 3, like they're caffeine, cigarettes, alcohol, blah blah blah, just not drugs at all, not bad in the slightest, and then anything even remotely illicit is so bad that you deserve to be basically shunned and ostracized from the entire society.
What's I forget what the distinction is in the U.S., but like it's like a class 1 drug is the bad one here, right?
Schedule
1.
something, right? Schedule
Yeah,
1.
Schedule 1. You know, things like heroin and weed that are exactly the same.
No, everything in
Just perfect.
everything that's not alcohol or tobacco in Japan is a Schedule 1 drug there.
But that's the government. Like,
Yeah.
in the United States, even when weed was not nearly as socially acceptable as it was now, if you got caught with weed, I don't think most people would care. I think like 10% of like suburban housewives that are like, and clutching their pearls would be like, oh, you can't watch him, he's a druggie. But like,
It would be the same conversation of like your mom caught you with cigarettes, and then you have to smoke the whole dime bag.
I'm just saying, like, I don't think that the American populace, even like at the peak of like reefer madness, would really care that much if someone got arrested for drug possession.
Yeah.
Like, whoop-de-doo. The government will care because our government sucks, but like individual consumers, like, fuck it, that's not a crime. That's not a victimless crime, but it's not a super victim-y crime
Right.
either. Like, if you I'm trying to think of I don't know, I guess if you drove drowsy, that's dangerous,
Yeah.
but like everyone's done it. and wrapped your car around a pole, like, you wouldn't get canceled in Japan, right? Like,
I don't believe so. I'm not saying that confidently, though.
yeah, I guess, yeah, we don't know enough about
Right.
Japanese, moral ideals, but, like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Things that, yeah, they could be dangerous. They could potentially, like, bring victims into play. But, like, by and large, you're the only one affected. Yeah. It's just not it's not that bad, fam.
No.
Ain't that bad. Ain't no problem. Ain't no problem.
We ain't got no problem.
Speaking of memes,
We ain't got no problem. We no problem.
going into the meme corner.
The memes.
All Your Base Are Belong to Us is 20 years old.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
We're old boys.
Yeah. Although,
What's gonna die first? All Your Base Are Belong to Us or us?
it is kind of prime for a resurgence, isn't it?
I don't think it's ever died.
Ooh.
I absolutely still see All Your Base Are Belong to Us references.
Fair?
It's fucking great. Oh, Kotaku coming out swinging on this article. The early aughts were a weird time. George H.W. Bush's loser's son somehow became president. All these other things are, just talking about goofy early aughts culture. And then just the very first thing that you lead off with is...
and we may do with like one meme a year.
It's true. The cultures spread less rapidly.
Fuck. All right. And that will take us into the breakouts. Ryan, you got something you're a little hot about. You want a dish?
Oh, yeah. Y'all ever heard of Great Minds with Dan Harmon?
Yes, from
Other
you.
than me mentioning
no.
it? Yeah. For very good reason. It was a show on History Channel that aired in 2016, 2017. What the actual fuck were they thinking, picking it up, first of all? The conceit of the show is Dan Harmon, the creator of Community, uses his Community money to hire his assistant, Spencer Crittenden, to create a time machine for him. And then they bring random historical figures to modern day world, read their Wikipedia article, go do something remote, like go out and, I don't know, go fishing with Ernest Hemingway or some shit like that. And then they die. Like they turn to dust in front of them, basically.
Do they?
Completely historically inaccurate. Like they don't give a fuck about actual history. It's just straight up comedy. And yeah, after like 5 or 6 episodes, History Channel, and by the way, they just go by History now. They don't go by History Channel. That's a thing that they have tried to distance themselves from, even though they're still called History.
I don't like it.
Yeah, it's weird. Started burying it and like airing it all over the schedule and trying not to. Also, there was one episode with Harry Truman that was about like gay rights and stuff like that. That obviously had like some insensitive remarks because it's Harry Truman and shit like that, and that's like the whole point. That was supposed to air basically like right after the Pulse nightclub shootings, and so they had to pull that. So that one never saw the light of day. And then they started putting all the episodes up on YouTube, and then they pulled them all, even though they were up there for free. And so now you have to like go to like the Harmontown subreddit and shit and find people that have posted like mega download links to download all the episodes, and like no one's issuing takedowns or anything because it's like a forgotten property that they like History Channel is completely scrubbed from any mention ever. It's a weird show.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. I'm a fan of Dan Harmon, so I enjoy it, and there's a lot of like references and shit and really funny people like Paul F. Tompkins and oh god, what's his name? The funniest episode. I need to look it up just to make sure that I get their name right. Great Minds. One second.
You're good.
Idi Amin. They have the comedian Ron Funches play Ugandan dictator Idi Amin.
Oh,
That sounds amazing.
By the way, all the guests choose who they play. So Ron Funches thought it would be funny if he played Ugandan dictator Idi Amin. And the best part is Dan Harmon is like relentlessly pushing Spencer because the first couple of episodes are white people, and he's like, gotta get some fucking diversity in here, Spencer. And he's like, look, I don't choose who comes forward and stuff. And then Ron Funches shows up and he's like, oh, looks like we got some melanin up in here and shit like that. And he's like all excited and he's like, wow, you're my best friend, and like they're getting along really well and stuff. And then he obviously like looks at his Wikipedia page and is like, oh wow, like you're an Ugandan ruler. Oh, you got some weird titles in there, like killed between 500,000 and 700,000 people in what is largely considered a genocide. Like,
So
he's just like super goofy, like, oh yeah, like, you know.
So Rob Funches has a very distinctive accent and cadence.
Yeah.
Is he still doing that while playing a Ugandan dictator?
yeah.
Oh my god.
No, he's just Ron Funches playing. But it's Ron Funches dressed up as Idi Amin, saying Ron Funches stuff. Like, no real reference to Idi Amin other than, like him saying, oh, I want to kill like X people. But it's Ron Funches, so he's like, I want to kill these people. Like, it's fucking great. It's a really funny episode, and that might be the peak of the show. But like it's golden. You got Dana Carvey playing JFK. Like, it's a funny fucking show. I don't know what the hell the History was thinking. This is like, it was also only 10-minute episodes because I think it was part of a larger comedy block that History tried to establish.
Oh god.
Which is some garbage. I think like even Adult Swim it'd be kind of weird on.
Yeah.
Like, and then meanwhile, no, it was just airing on cable. No big deal.
I do kind of love the idea of this being a lost TV show, because with streaming being such a big thing now, that I don't know, it just feels like that doesn't really happen anymore. But in reality, there are still like a lot of TV shows that run for a single season, get canceled, and then don't exist anymore.
Yeah. No, it almost certainly happens a lot.
Did when they went fishing with Ernest Hemingway, did they say anything like, "Oh, hey, just like the old man in the sea, right? Right?" Huh?
Dan Harmon hadn't read any Ernest Hemingway was the joke. So like Ernest Hemingway they like kept him in another room, and like they usually do the Wikipedia articles in Dan Harmon's office at Starburns Industry, which is in Burbank. I've driven by it a few times. And Dan's in his office, like desperately, like you can see he's just like reading like as fast as he can, and like Spencer comes in and he's just like, "Look, Dan, I can't keep him occupied for much longer," and he's just like, "I'm 5 pages into Old Man in the Sea, like you gotta hold him," and then he like bursts in and he's like, "Harmon, what is the deal with this?" And he's like super shitty, and like when he makes him, he's I got divorced 3 times, and it was recently after Dan Harmon's divorce, and he's like, "Oh look, we're like basically the same, you and me," and he's just like looks at him with such utter disdain. The person who played Ernest Hemingway was Scott Adsit, who is best known for his role on 30 Rock, where he's like Liz's showrunner and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Very different from his 30 Rock character, where he's kind of like underfoot and like, "Oh, I don't know, Liz," but like this, he's very self-assured Ernest Hemingway, being very much Ernest Hemingway. And and they set it up where, not to spoil it, but I don't know if you guys would ever watch it. He wants to kill himself.
Yeah.
Because he learns at some point that, he kills himself, and he's like, you know what? Like, I chose my own way out, and I'm happy that that's the case. And so when he starts to disintegrate and turn into dust, he's like, no, I need to kill myself. And they had set up earlier in the episode that Dan Harmon wanted to play paintball with him, but Ernest Hemingway hated it so much because he's like, you're simulating killing, which is like Ernest Hemingway, was famously fought in like 3 different wars and stuff like that. So he hated it and everything, but Dan Harmon loves paintball in that episode. I don't think he does in real life. And then at the end of the episode, he like is able to sneak what looks like a giant shotgun from him and like try to pull the trigger, and it cuts to Ernest Hemingway and he's just got like paint on his face and he's like, God damn it, and then he just like disintegrates into dust.
Oh my god.
So
Jesus Christ.
they go there rather consistently, which is pretty fucking great. I think there was multiple references to. Oh no, they have John Wilkes Booth, portrayed by the irreparably evil Andy Dick, and so that tracks pretty well. And they make John Wilkes Booth play Abraham Lincoln in a play about Abraham Lincoln's assassination to try to like teach him empathy.
Holy fuck.
It's pretty great. There's some good shit in there. So, but yeah, forgotten to history.
All right, Andrew, do you want to try to top that? What are you checking out?
No. I'm not checking out anything new. What are you doing, Lucas?
Madden.
Oh?
Still checking out Madden. It's been fun.
Oh, good.
Lucas.
Yeah, I watched that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Limited series. Thus spoke Kashibe Rohan. I don't know that I ever would have thought, hey, I would love a horror anthology with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure characters. But this is that. It's pretty good. It's weird. The one episode is just about a vaguely human species of monsters that just find a way to subsist off of human guilt.
No.
Weird. I dig it.
No, fair enough.
And then I beat Super Mario 3D World. Good Mario game. I'm now playing Bowser's Fury, and you know how all the trailers made it look like you can turn into a giant cat and fight Bowser?
Mm-hmm.
You do that, but then also if you like get hit, you stop being a cat and then you're just a giant Mario.
And you don't like this?
A little bit. Like, I thought a giant Super Saiyan cat Mario. I thought this would be like, oh, this happens, and then you push a couple of buttons and win. No, you get the shit kicked out of you when you're a giant Mario. This isn't a power fantasy. Weird.
Would Arthur, if Arthur turned giant... I'm saying Arthur, what the fuck? How did that happen?
It's in your head.
Would Mario, if Mario turned giant Super Saiyan or whatever the fuck, would he still be able to jump like Mario? Would he be able to jump like 4 of his heights in the air? He would start to like leave the atmosphere.
He cannot, no. Mario feels very heavy when he is giant.
Which tracks,
yeah,
volume-wise.
Volume-wise.
Yeah. Well, like, it's the whole thing with why land animals can never be as big as sea animals, like, just because the sheer force of gravity makes it basically impossible, and why, in order to portray... Like, if Godzilla moved like a lizard that was normal lizard size, it would look super fucked to us.
Yeah.
Like, we wouldn't be able to properly understand the scale. The miniatures would fall apart. Like, when they use a miniature set of Godzilla, like, smashing it all up, it would start to look like a miniature set and just a normal lizard walking around a tiny little village. So, they have, like, because that's how it would be in real life. Like, they would be very lumbering and very slow, and, like, fucking every step they take would have the weight of, you know, like, 1,000 tons and everything like that. But...
That's why Godzilla has those thick thighs. You gotta keep himself upright.
It's so hard to stay upright when you're Godzilla. Yeah, I don't know. It's like magic, right? Have they broken down the canon reasons that Mario grows to be twice his height when he eats a mushroom, or
no,
is able to throw fire when he eats a flower? Like,
no. So,
like, it's probably magic.
Yeah.
So there's no reason that he can't just still jump like 4 times his height when he's 100 feet tall and be just fucking 500 feet in the air and then come crashing down with the force of
a meteorite. Yeah.
Yeah, a 7 megaton nuclear bomb. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
If it's magic. If it's biological somehow, then sure, yeah. But then that's getting into some weird territory when you're getting into a biologically accurate Mario.
So Mario's human, but then in Mario Odyssey there were more human-looking humans also. Princess Peach is also a human, but she's like either really tall then, or Mario's really short. What's going on here?
Mario's really short, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I did.
Well, we can all be honest, Mario's a short king.
So, like, fucking Mario 3D World, you start out most levels as though you'd, like, eaten a mushroom. So you're, like, you know, big Mario, technically. But the way they frame it, it's, like, normal Mario in this game. But then if you get hit like that, you shrink down, like, in the original game to, like, 1 pixel tall Mario. It looks fucking weird. It looks fucking weird that Mario's running around proportioned, like, kind of like a baby. Kind of like a baby with an adult-sized head, just running around punching bricks.
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
Oh.
I mean, if we're getting into biological Mario, like, I think there's something to do with the inverse square law with hearts.
Yes.
Like, where your heart needs to be so much larger in proportion to the rest of your body in order to encompass like the increased surface area and volume and shit like that of your body. Mm-hmm. So like if Mario just grew proportionally biologically, he would die within a few minutes because his heart wouldn't be able to properly oxygenate his entire body.
Right.
His heart would have to grow by more than the proportion of the rest of his body. So yeah, if we're getting biological with this shit, it's gonna get dark really quick.
If we're getting biological with this shit, we need to talk about the liver damage Mario has almost certainly incurred.
Yeah. Well, it's exactly that. Like Mario, it would basically be Mario's overdosing on illicit substances because, like, illicit steroid and human growth hormone that has enlarged like parts of his body to such a degree that his organs cannot keep up with the demand, and he just succumbs to organ failure in a hospital somewhere, probably on dialysis and shit.
Yeah, Mario consumes things that make animal parts grow out of his body. His liver is trying to scrub that shit out so hard.
Hey, Japan, let's get some consistency with these social cancellations, huh? Getting actors out of here for illicit substances? You gonna cancel Mario?
Yeah. Mario's definitely a reference to drugs, right? Like, when he does take those, that's definitely a reference. Well, I'm saying it's magic.
Right.
Obviously it's magic, but, like, eating a mushroom...
Yeah.
Come on now.
Come on.
And meanwhile, weed? Fucking weed? Like, just some baseline bullshit that doesn't really get you more fucked up than alcohol? Come on, Japan.
God, I haven't gotten high in forever. I gotta change that. Moving on to the group chat.
Whoa.
Andrew, what'd you think of this episode of WandaVision?
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
We get some more plot. I thought the Modern Family / office setup that they had in this episode was pretty good. Mm-hmm. And they're like, wait, you're not supposed to be talking. What? You don't ask me questions. And then, like, I love the way that they cut it where, Vision is doing the side shot, like the side interview. He's like, wait, I shouldn't be doing this. Like, I need to get home to my family. And then it cuts and he's back in the car. And then he's like, I need to go. And then teleports out of there. Yeah, like this shit is happening simultaneously to reality.
Paul Bettany's gym face, even under I don't know how much cosmetic to make him look like Vision, was really fucking good. Also, I would be remiss if I did not mention what was the exact wording? Agatha was behind it all. That fucking
it was Agatha all along.
It was Agatha all along. That fucking jingle at the end was
pretty good. And I killed Sparky. It's good shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a little worried where the show is going to go now that things seem to be shoring up a little more conventional Marvel narrative, but I'm hopeful. Still hopeful. How's Madden
Anyone
go?
see? Oh, sorry. What?
No, I was going to ask how Madden's going for you guys, but if you have something, go for it.
No, it's pretty standard.
Alright.
Just a normal year.
Yeah.
I mean, we played. I beat Andrew. You know,
Bad.
Andrew's down bad. I'm re-signing all my 99 overall players. I'm gonna have no salary cap space. It's gonna be like 5 99 overall players and a bunch of rookies. But yeah, I'm down with that. That sounds fun. I'm basically just gonna be the developmental league for the rest of the NFL. Like, I'm just gonna take cheap players, make them good, and then some other team is gonna have to pay them more than they're probably worth. That's gonna be for the rest of our dynasty, I imagine. So
Who was it? Do you still have Southpaw Randall Cobb at quarterback?
no,
Oh.
Jalen Hurts is healthy.
Oh, okay.
Randall Cobb, I can't find him on the free agency list, but I didn't see him on the retired players. So I guess maybe he's canonically retired, but the game fucked up. Who knows?
I mean, you could find him, sign him, change him back to wide receiver, and then release him.
I don't know that I can find him. I haven't seen him on the free agency list. I've looked everywhere. So either Madden fucked up or he's retired and they just didn't say, which also would be Madden fucking up, but, you know, classic. Did y'all see the pictures of Perseverance taken from the fucking jetpack?
Yeah.
That lowered it to the
Yeah, that
surface?
shit was cool.
Awesome, dude. So fucking cool. So Mark Rober worked on the last Mars rover, and now he's, you know, like a pretty well-known YouTuber at this point. He made a video, like, kind of amping up this Mars rover and everything like that. And he did say that the first person to step foot on Mars is alive today. And I was like, optimistic.
Yeah.
For two reasons. One, because, you know, then that means that you're saying that we're going to step foot on Mars, which, you know, as everything falls apart, who fucking knows. And two, we're going to do it then within the next 30 years because
Yeah.
It's not going to
Let's
be
be
an
honest.
old man.
yeah, it's not going to be older. I think maximum they're going to be 35 years old, right? Like, you're not going to send someone older to Mars for the very first time. So
Unless things get real bad, in which case we are just like, yeah, we need to send someone there just to, you know, figure out that is a viable thing. We're not bringing you back, though. You're gonna die up there.
It's kind of like I mean, like, things can change, you know, in the next 30 years, their estimates, but it is almost a guaranteed that, like, yeah, we want like, when they've looked for volunteers to, like, potentially train for the Mars mission, it is you will not come back.
that's that one private company. That's not.
No, but
NASA.
even like not conservative, like optimistic estimates are like, you are almost certainly not going to make it.
Not NASA.
NASA wouldn't say
NASA's-
that.
Yes, they would. If they were, like you're saying, because something would go wrong, or because that was the plan from the beginning.
No, because like Mars is such a harsh environment that it would not be viable to keep people there longer than a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would they? What? I'm confused.
No, I
now.
like.
What are you talking
This
about?
is
I'm talking
regardless.
about the first mission to Mars. Like,
Oh,
they're
you're not
stay there for
talking
more
about
than a
like
day.
setting up a base on Mars. You're talking about like
No, this is like a moon
get
landing.
touch
but for
Mars and
Mars.
then immediately come back.
like the moon landing.
Okay.
This is.
I was like, NASA would never like plan a mission where they're like, and then we leave you there and you die.
All right, yeah. So this one, we're gonna send you out there. You're gonna touch the surface, figure out something cooler than one small step for man to say, because like, you need a new phrase. Then grab some soil samples, some of that ice to figure out if we can drink that or not, and then yeah, we'll bring you on home.
Yeah, we'll boogie on back. That's what Mark Rober was talking about. He's the first person to step foot, and I'm like, so yeah, that means within 30 years because they're not going to be old probably, unless like Lucas said. But I don't know. It still feels like even then, you'd probably choose someone younger and more physically fit. But
So
who knows, man?
you know how the first sport that was technically done on the moon was golf.
Technically, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like they didn't play a round of golf. They just
And like they
teed up and
in the
went.
same way that like you could say if I threw a baseball at the Earth, that baseball would be the first sport. Yeah, I get
Yeah.
you.
It's the first sport on Mars.
Yeah, full contact football.
Okay.
We're going to send up 6 astronauts and have a 3-on-3 tackle football game. And one of them's going to Brandon Merriweather and just fucking turn himself into a human projectile. Helmet first, right into his gut.
I was gonna say, like, there's gonna be a helmet-to-helmet hit that just kills both astronauts because their helmets explode.
But we have to. It's for the spectacle. That would be a great metaphor for, just broader the sport of football. But
All right. I think we are nearing the end. So let's do a clap sync and the wind down.
boop de boop.
International Mother Language Day.
We've been practicing that without knowing it.
Hey.
Hour and a half.
Yeah. Look at us.
Speaking the mother tongue.
Hey.
You know, it feels good
English.
to flex the old mother tongue, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's been so long. Like seconds since I last spoke this language.
Ain't that the truth?
Mm.
Too long.
It's also true that if you like this episode, you really should like, comment, subscribe, etc. Also, if you are a big fan and would like to support us, please check out our Patreon. Have a lot of great tiers on there, and any patronage is much appreciated. You'll be joining the likes of Tiffany Cole, Sensual Richard Nixon, and Sucky Badger. Also send us any questions or business opportunities to our email, voluntaryviewing@gmail.com. Check us out on Instagram and YouTube, where Andrew is uploading some highlights of all of our greatest bits on here. Andrew's doing like the double hang 10 right now. Because, yeah, he knows it. He knows he's hot shit for doing this. And he is. There's an ActBlue link in the description of this episode. You can follow that to make a donation to a collection of great causes. And then my name is Lucas DeRuyter, at Lucas DeRuyter on Twitter. Follow me there for all of my writing. Still have some great stuff coming in the pipeline. And would love it if you would check that out and support me personally. Any particular way we want to end this one, boys?
Nah, fam.
Nah? All right. We got poker in an hour and 20 minutes. Everyone listening, wish us luck.
Make your predictions now.
You know
We'll
the
get
safe
updated
money
in the
is.
quarantine cast.
Oh, yeah, we'll follow up on this tomorrow. All right. Goodbye, and good luck out there.